Good morning, students. Lot of new faces for me. So mostly I know the people. So how's the exam? Abhi exam. Rasara? Weekly test. Did you people written? Huh? Fine. We'll discuss of this weekly current affair. I have compiled some of the important current affairs. I'll tell you, like prior to this, I'll tell you something. So my way of teaching is, I'll let you, most of you people know, right, how I teaches, means how you, like if people came to mentorship, right, you know how I'll teach. So I'll tell something, I'll give some backward and forward linkages to any topic which I discuss. I'll give the backward and forward linkages, like how the question will come, whether it is in the prelims, whether it is in the mains. I'll tell some points how to write in the prelims or in the mains. Okay. So this is the main thing, and I'll concentrate on the assumptions, means how the question may frame based on the current affair. Like I'll tell you, like the topic generally we see in the newspaper, any article or something, how to pick this topic and how to dug into it, probability and possibility of questions from it. Okay. Dug ante enti వంట తీసుకొని వెళ్తావనా? It's not like that, right? So fine, these are the main things you need to remember. So prior to that, did you get this one? Maybe they have posted it. So fine, see, this is the judgment. What is this? POCSO Act. POCSO Act not meant to criminalize consensual relationship. What does consensual relationship means? Accepted, like both are accepted. These days are very common, right? Consensual relationships. So whether it is 18, 17, 16, 14, the trend is heavy due to this Instagram, Facebook, and next Snapchat. A recent thing which I am seeing is on the rise. Streaks anta. You people know it? Huh? Most of you people know it, right? Streaks. So it has trend. So they are taking the number, they are doing it. So what's the judgment here is POCSO Act. Any guess what the POCSO Act means? Child sexual abuse offences. What you can say? Child Sexual Offences Act. Prevention of Child Sexual Offences Act. Child means, according to the definition, the child is less than 18 years age. Whoever the child, he is less than 18 years. So there are the act has came in the 2012 regarding this POCSO. The act has came in when? 2012. So there are amendments has happened. So this is not the judgment. See what they have told? Observes. Observes means they are going to think about it. So I'll show you the provisions. So first of all, see this. Wait, after this I'll tell you. So is it visible? Huh? So main provisions. For example, if any act comes for your prelims, you need to know the provisions first of all. Based on these provisions only you can analyze the thing. So for example, provisions. What are the important provisions? Establishment of what? Special courts. SPL court means what? Special courts. What's the needs of? There are lot of courts are there, right? You know that from the district judge, district court to high court, supreme court. So what's the reason the establishment of special courts? Speed and faster justice. You know the term, right? Justice delayed is justice denied. So when you are writing, if any question comes in this act, POCSO Act, something, any related questions, try to use such kind of words. Justice delayed is justice denied. Got it? So coming to this, the first provision is establishment of what courts? Special courts. Next, there has given a timeline. What is that? Investigation should be how many months? Within 2 months. There is a timeline. Investigation should be happened in 2 months. Trial should be happened in 8 months. So 6 months. Overall, how many months? 8 months, right? So when the question comes, the overall judgment need to be done within a year. Is it correct statement? Within a year. So overall you can take it within a year, right? So more than 2 years. Is it correct? Based on this? More than 2 years. Wrong, right? So next, these provisions, see this mandatory reporting. What does this mandatory reporting means? Whoever the person, if you know about that sexual abuse or something, you need to report it. If you won't report about that, there is what? Fine on case on you, right? You have seen some incident, there has happening a sexual abuse or something. Even though you are knowing that, if you are unable to tell that whether this has happening, this is a sexual abuse that was happening there. If you are unable to tell that, there is also fine upon you. Got it? So this is the mandatory reporting. Next, false complaint punishment. This is generally happens in everywhere, right? మనమే చూసుకుంటాం లేదా వాడి మీద వీడి మీద చెప్పుకుంటా ఉంటాం లేదా, we generally do it, false complaints, right? So they have taken this, there is a false complaint punishment also there. Next, very important provision of this POCSO Act is what? Gender neutral. It means that whether it is a boy, whether it is a girl, the act applies same to everybody. So it means that it is supporting which article of our Indian Constitution? Article 14. So when you are writing some kind of points in this question, so this what you can say that POCSO Act is in line with the Article 14 of our Indian Constitution. Is it correct? Yes. So such kind of statements they can frame in your questions. Got it? Next, see here, no limit for reporting abuse. What does it means? So whether the event has taken something around 3 years back, whether it is a 4 years back, whatever the time limit it may be. So there is no time limit that you can report it, right? Today happened, maybe 2 years happened. So the process should be completed in 8 months. So overall it is less than 1 year, but no limit for reporting abuse. So what they can do is 1 year time limit for the reporting abuse. They will change the sentences. Interchange may happen. If you see the prelims MCQs of previous years, they will change the things. Got it? Next one, confidentiality of the victims. So this is very important provisions. I'll discuss this one. Confidentiality of victims means, so anyone who got abused, who is a victim, so if he went to the court or something, so their right is what? Court's right to protect his identity. Right, I'll tell about this. Next one, institution housing children. So this has Muzaffarpur case. There is a case called Muzaffarpur case where a politician was involved. He is running a child home, right? So he got what you can say, he got into that case because there is sexual abuse happening in the child homes. We generally see it, right? So many child homes are there. It will happen. So next, very important thing. So definition of the child. Other important provision is what? Definition of child. It is based on what? Biological one only. Only it is based on what? Biological means what? What is biological means? Based on your sex, right? No other provisions, whether you are mentally retarded, right? So generally people of mentally, if he has something 30 years or ipude chaala man chustuntam kada beta 30 years aina sare, they didn't develop their actual capabilities. So they are వాళ్ళకి తెలియదు 32 అయినా సరే, సో దే ఆర్, చెప్పండి, వాట్ డస్ ఇట్ మీన్? So mental ability. So it doesn't depend upon the mental ability. So this is one of the backdrop. So I'll tell you something. So this is the one of the backdrop. Why? Because it was defined only on the biological way, that is less than 18 years. So they also don't have that physical abilities, right? Mental abilities to deal whether they are doing sexual abuse or not. Generally it is happening in such kind of institutions. Mentally institutions, there are a lot of sexual abuse are there, but they are not covered under this act, right? So next very important thing is contradictory thing. So I'll show you one provision. So this is the provision, very important provision. The law presumes that all sexual acts with children under the age of 18. So under the age of 18 is a sexual offence. This also includes sexual acts where both individuals are under the age of 18. Therefore, two adolescents who engage in what? Consensual sexual act will also be punished under this law. So under this law, is consensual sex is punishable or not? Under this law. So what's the judgment came? Where is this judgment? So what's the judgment? So SC has observing that law, whether it is criminal in nature or non-criminal in nature. So this is the current affair. You need to link that current affair with the static portion. So generally we don't see that the word, if this judgment is there, then it is a law. So it is observing it. It means that it is thinking of it. In future it may do it, right? So see the provision. It means that in the POCSO Act, so by seeing this article, we generally think that POCSO Act not mean to criminalize the consensual sexual relationships. They will give the second or third point. You think that it is a correct statement, but exactly in the act it criminalizes. Got it? So you need to remember such kind of traps which generally done by this UPSC or whatever the exams. Next, the contradictory thing. Contradictory thing about it is consensual sex. So the topic which I have discussed this as this observation of this High Court. Next one is tribal way of life. Do you know tribal way of life? Anyone? So what this tribal way of life means? So every tribal, like most of the tribals have their own laws, own regulations. So they are residing in the country since these regulations or the constitutions or whatever the thing, they have not came into the being. So they are in a secluded place. They are maybe something, they will reside in a forest, chetla kindo, potla kindo, ekkado untaru villu. Okay. So they reside in the forest or something in the caves. They don't know awareness of these laws, right? So who will give this awareness? So Lok Adalat, at least Lok Adalat should go there, right? So awareness should be there, right? First of all, it is disturbing their tribal way of life. They have their own life pattern according to their environmental setting. I'll tell you one example, that is called Gotul. It means youth dormitory. Dormitory, did you heard any of the word dormitory means? Something like hostel, youth hostel. So this is the Gotul. Gotul means youth hostel. Prior to the marriage means whether she or he is a child, a female and a male child can reside in a single place. So they can form, like they can stay in that houses. So whether they are okay with themselves or they can do any sexual activity among themselves. So it means that their way of life, if you are imposing this POCSO onto them, is it disturbing their culture? Right? Is it disturbing, right? So this is one a contradictory thing of this POCSO Act. Another important thing is issue with the MTP Act. Anyone of you heard MTP Act means? Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act of 1971. So this is a very important act. What it decides? Abortion, right? About the abortion. So there is a something, a provision in this MTP Act, that is what? Here there is no mandatory reporting of the identity. So here MTP Act, what MTP Act should say? What's here is what you can say? So here it is mandatory reporting in the POCSO Act. In the MTP Act it is saying no need of mandatory reporting. If a child less than 18 years is asking or something to get aborted, abortion చేసుకోవాలి అనుకుంటే, సో ఈ లాకి ఈ పోక్సో లాకి కాన్ఫ్లిక్ట్ ఉందా లేదా? Is there any conflict? Right? So this is the important contradictory things you need to remember. So I am telling the two sides of a coin. So these are the provisions. There are also some drawbacks in this act. Got it? So recently, do you know Katwa rape? Katwa? So 8-year child got gang raped, right? So in Jammu and Kashmir. So after this 2018, they have brought one amendment. So generally amendments means the change in the laws will bring, when they will bring the change in the laws, if something, an incident happens, if any of the incident happens, they will change the laws. That's the reason of the amendment. So what happened in this, after this Katwa rape case in 2018 is, so use of child for pornographic purposes. So earlier how many? Maximum. So now minimum is 5 years. So they can increase, right? It means that if the question comes, compare or something between the POCSO Act of 2012 versus 2019. So what are the changes was happened in this 2019? A question can be framed like that. So use of child pornographic purposes resulting penetrative sexual assault. Very important point. Penetrative sexual assault means using of something rods or something, any of the instrument into their private parts. You have seen, right, Delhi gang rape, Nirbhaya. So what, you know the grave incident, what was happened? So recently you see this one, Aftab case, Aftab and Shraddha. It's in the news. See, I don't know. Chusara, ela affect chesne social, what you can say, OTT thing. He has inspired from a text, what you can say, web series called Dexter. Dexter and chinnappudu Dexter laboratory adi kaadu. So there is a, what you can say, there is a Dexter is a, he inspired from it, Dexter. So he has chopped her into 35 pieces. Chudandi, we are in which kind of state? 35 pieces. He put his head, her head in the fridge. He brought 2 fridges to keep her body parts in that fridge. So if he has something angry with him, or if he want to talk, he opened that fridge and talk with that head. He has stated that. See how cruel the people are. Right. So don't inspire from such kind of things. Just చూసి వదిలేయండి. So recent thing, 35 pieces ante it's not an, it's a very horrible thing. అసలు ఎలా చేశాడో మరి. So అలాగా, so it means that ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఎలా అడగచ్చు అంటే, how this unregulated OTT content, right, unregulated OTT content may change your ideology, right? So generally CBFC means, you know that Central Board of Film Certification. So there is a certification will be there. What is what? It means what? A plus, U by A or U? Huh? Okay, fine. చెప్తాను A++ మీ ఇష్టం పెట్టుకోండి. చెప్తుంది ఏంటంటే there is a what you can say, there is a regulation. So based on this, if you see the movie poster, you can see this one, A plus U by A. When you went to the cinema, you can see this. Under means under 18, U by A adult and under, A plus means above the 18. So they are giving such kind of things, but in the OTT there is no regulation, right? So until and unless you bring regulations on such kind of things, you may have stopped this one, you may have, but it's not saying that you need to have, but he has studied each and everything about the human anatomy. సినిమాలు చూసుంటారుగా గొంతుకు వస్తే. సో బీ అవేర్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ క్యానిబలిజం అంట. క్యానిబలిజం, డూ యూ నో క్యానిబలిజం? మనుషుల్ని చంపి తినేది. చిన్నప్పుడు ఎప్పుడో చిరంజీవి సినిమాలు చూశాను అది. సో యూజ్ ఆఫ్, సో penetrative sexual, why I have brought this one? Penetrative means something, any instrument they are putting into their private parts. Okay, see here, minimum 10 years, maximum is life imprisonment. Minimum 10 years in the case of child below. So that this is the amendment which came after this Kathua case. 16 years. So maximum is life in. Use of child for pornographic aggravated. So this is another word. These are the very important thing you need to remember. Aggravated means the persons who are in the public service, whether he is an SP or whether he is a police officer, he is a civil servant, who are the persons who involved in this one, aggravated. So because if you see this Kathua case, there is a police office involved in it. Kathua rape case में ఎవరు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయ్యారు? పోలీస్ ఆఫీసర్. సో దే హ్యావ్ ఫ్రేమ్డ్ దిస్ లా. అగ్రవేటెడ్ మీన్స్ హూ ఆర్ ద పొజిషన్ టు ప్రొటెక్ట్ యూ, దే ఓన్లీ డూయింగ్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ థింగ్స్, రైట్? సో దే హ్యావ్ చేంజ్డ్ దిస్ వన్. ఇఫ్ దట్ guy, who is that guy? So earlier life imprisonment, no, minimum is 20 years, maximum is life imprisonment or death. So what is the provision came here? Death penalty. Got it? So next one, use of child for pornographic purposes resulting in sexual assault. This sexual assault means normally they are threatening you, you need to do such kind of things. So see these guidelines. So important thing you need to remember is penetrative sexual assault, what it means? Aggravated penetrative sexual assault. So they have brought this death sentence. Got it? So if I want to talk any laws previous to this POCSO Act, so what are the laws which guide it? IPC means what? Indian Penal Code 1860. So rape, IPC 375. IPC 354 is outraging the modesty of a woman. IPC 377 unnatural offences, right? So these are the important points you need to remember. Previously there are any laws? Yes, there are laws, but there is no overall law to deal with it. So that is what which ఏ రూపంలో వచ్చినది? Came through POCSO Act, right? So if you want to see, there is an international significance about this child sexual abuse or child sex rights. So what it is, in 1992 when India ratified means what? There is two things you need to remember. One is signed and other is ratified. What the signed means, what the ratified means? So when generally we will see doing this MCQs or something, signed means yes, we are okay with it, okay మేము చేస్తాము అని ఒప్పుకున్నట్టు. Ratification means you need to follow their guidelines, whether whatever the thing, the guidelines they give to you, you need to follow it. This is the main difference between signing and ratification. After the signing only you will do the ratify. So many declaration of the international India has signed but not yet ratified. Remember these differences. Next one, see the stats here. So about to say this, where is it? So what's the convention? United Nations Convention on the Rights of Child. It was came in 1989 under UNICEF. Okay. So see here, what are the stats means? Stats ante enti? What are stags? Huh? Stag ante enti? Stag entry ante vinnaru eppudaina? Huh? Any one of you heard what the stag entry means? Huh? చెప్పండి ఎవరికైనా తెలిస్తే. సింగిల్స్ పబ్బుల్లోకి అలౌ చేయరు. మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పబ్స్ స్టాగ్స్ సింగిల్ వాళ్ళకి కప్పులే కావాలి. కప్పులు ఎందుకు కావాలంటారు చెప్పండి? పక్కన వాళ్ళు డిస్టర్బ్ చేయరని, ఎక్కువ బిల్ వస్తుందని. ఈ రెండు రీజన్సే. ఇంకొకటి ఏదో పెట్టారు ఈ మధ్య, వీక్ డేస్ ఆఫర్స్, గర్ల్స్ నైట్, లేడీస్ నైట్ అంట. అవన్నీ విన్నారు ఎప్పుడైనా? లేడీస్ నైట్ అంటే ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళకి ఫ్రీ ఉంటుంది అనమాట, ఎలవెన్. నువ్వు వాళ్ళతో పాటు ఎవరైనా మేల్, ఇఫ్ వీ టేక్ ఎనీ ఆఫ్ ద మేల్ విత్ హిమ్, he will obviously pay the bill, right? Drinks also will be free. Meeke baat achunattundi. So okay, so see here, stats means data. So 76% of the children were subjected to other forms of sexual abuse. Out of these, 53 point were boys. See, who are more affected, boys or girls? Evari threat maaka meeka? See, so next, see the state. Which is the state? Assam reported the highest incidence of sexual abuse among the both boys and girls. Very, very important. These kind of stats, they will play with you like anything. These are the very important stats. What is one? Boys are more prone to sexual abuse. So fine, I have missed something. Yeah. Issues. What may be the issue of POCSO Act something ante ippudu elaga, what you can say? So what's the fear? Is there any fear? If you want to report, so here the provision is mandatory reporting. It is an issue with it. Generally fear because we follow the culture. We India generally follow the culture. If you see, if you are following the culture, we generally take marriage is a sacred thing. ఒకసారి పెళ్ళయ్యాక ఇంకోసారి విడిపోకూడదు అన్న కాన్సెప్ట్తో ఉంటాం. సో we Indians follow it, right? So marriage is a sacred thing. So prior to the marriage, if any sexual offense has happened on it, or what you can say, if any case, is this child is eligible to marry, like చేసుకుంటారా, how the people will feel? If you want to marry such kind of child, will the family will see it? Will the family consider that child? If we want men, from the men's side, if they will consider it? No, right? So this is the one of the major issue with it, sexual offense. So because of this, there are lot of under reporting. They are not reporting it because of their child future. They are thinking about their child future. So this is the one issue. Tell me any other issue from your side. What may be the issue? So I have told you something, fear of marriage or something. Any other? So there is a political, that is also a correct point. Politicization, political involvement, they can save them. General ప్రతి సినిమాలు చూస్తుంటాం, ఒక పాలిటిక్స్ కొడుకుంటాడు, he will do something, politician son will be there, he will do something, he will get saved by that act. లాస్ట్లో ఏమైంది, హీరో వస్తాడు, he'll kill that person. Most of the cinemas you generally see such kind of things. So this is the one provision. Another provision is, same thing. If you want to see social discrimination also, see that person normally, generally we cannot interact with them, we'll treat her like something without, so that's the reason why you are outraging her modesty. If you see this law, earlier law, what you can say, yeah, IPC section, outraging the modesty of the woman, so it is also linking with it. So these are the issues. So next, see here, any constitutional provisions relating to it, POCSO is in line with the Article 15.3, very important. You never think that it is related to it. Article 15.3 of the Indian Constitution, which permits the state to make special provisions for the children. So Article 14 is in line with the POCSO Act, is it correct? Article 15 is in line with the POCSO Act, is it correct? Yes. Very another important article is Article 21. What does it mean? Right to life and liberty. So it means that is it also supporting this POCSO Act? Right? So these are the very important points you need to remember. So what's the judgment? So what's the law? What's the news? It is a very basic news, but you need to dug this much. At least if you dug this much, you are able to answer both prelims and mains question if the question comes from this in this way. If any question comes asking about the child or individual child aspect of the mains, you can mention such kind of stats in that answer also. Got it?
Sir, burden of proof is with whom, sir?
Burden of proof means regarding what?
Burden of who is to prove that he is guilty or not guilty, sir? Sometimes victim has to prove that he is not guilty, right? So in this case, who needs to prove that he is not guilty?
It depends on the case.
I think victim needs to prove that he is not guilty, so that is one of the limitations in POCSO Act.
So victim, like see, obviously victim, if victim want to prove it, he need to go some kind of tests. Whether it is a pregnancy test or a penetration test, you know, a 2-finger test. You heard it right somewhere or something. So they can go with such kind of tests. They'll do it. The medical examination will be there. So obviously there is a mandate. So generally they won't approach. So that's the reason. Under reporting, what's the reason is they'll fear of it. We may get encountered with the society, so we cannot face the society or tomorrow. So that's the reason. So burden of proof is depend on the. So generally they will examine it. So if you want to report it, you can also report it. That is also the provision which was given in that one, mandatory reporting. Whether you have seen that case, you need to report it. If not, I will fine on you. Okay. So next, see this. I have done a practice MCQ. Which of the following statements are true regarding the POCSO Act? Definition of the child was explicitly mentioned in the act. Okay. Definition of child was explicitly means, what is the difference between explicit and implicit? Explicit means it is mentioned in that. Implicitly means somewhere around. For example, judicial review. Did you see judicial? You heard about judicial review? Judicial review was implicitly mentioned in the constitution, not explicitly. Means no provision is telling that judicial review is mentioned in this constitution, but by taking this article 13, that is what? If something is done according to the act, fundamental rights, so judiciary is the body, you need to take care of it. So and the 142 is an article. So generally that article guides Supreme Court to take that stand. It means that no word of this judicial review we cannot see in a Indian constitution. It means that it was implicitly mentioned, not explicitly mentioned. Remember this difference. So explicitly means there in the act, the provision is there. So what is the definition of child here? It's based on what? Biological one. Got it? Next one. The act mandates that time to be reported within the 2 years of occurrence. When? No time limit. Uttar Pradesh has reported the highest incidence of sexual abuse among the girls. Which one? Assam. So see the mains question. So are you okay now? Like POCSO Act, if something a current affair come, how to deal with it? How to dug such kind of things? So how you can frame a practice MCQ from it? So generally UPSC will do such kind of things only. They'll take a current affair, they'll change into their according to their circumstances. So what's the main thing? In spite of 2019 Amendment Act, the implementation of POCSO is laid with challenges. Critically evaluate. It means that what are the things you need to write about in this answer? First of all, you need to mention about the 2019 amendment, some guidelines. I have told you the death penalty. So all those things you need to mention in this one. Next, laid with challenges. So what are the challenges? Underreporting, tribal way of life, consensual sex. Next one is MTP Act. So these are the challenges you need to mention in this. If such kind of mains question comes, you can put such kind of things in your answer. Just remember the keywords. Keywords is a very important thing you need to play. Got it? Any doubt regarding this topic? Fine. So center constitutes what? 22nd Law Commission. What role does this body play? This is a current affair. 22nd Law Commission. So what generally the Law Commission means? Did you heard like which topic it is related to? Polity or society? What it means? Polity, right? So is this Law Commission? Wait, I'll tell later. So see this article. I found this very important. Article 372. The Constitution stipulated that what the Constitution has stipulated? Continuation of pre-constitutional laws under 372 until they are amended or repealed. What does it mean? So any laws prior to the independence, right? Are they, what you can say, are they applicable now? Are they relevant now? So that's the demand of this Article 372. So to check that whether these pre-constitutional laws are needed now or not, for that a body should be established, right? So what is that body? So you can say that indirectly Article 372 has promoted Law Commission of India to get ascribed. So it means that it has taken from it, but very very important thing you have to remember, it is a non-statutory body. What does non-statutory body means? No act. Okay, it is not guided by any of the act. It is a non-statutory body. So it is also a advisory body. It is not a recommendations, it will give the advisory. So it won't implement the things, it just advises you. First Law Commission of India was established when? So prior to the independence, when it was established? By Charter Act of 1833. Very very important. So when you are discussing something, so now you get this point. What you need to do is go through your, what you can say, whether your polity book or something internet. When you are studying this thing only, you need to see these provisions and make a note of it when you are doing your current affairs. Got it? So next, who is chaired by this one? Lord Macaulay. So what they will do is, if they want to frame any law commission question, it was headed by the Lord something, anything, Lord Birkenhead, whatever the thing. If they want to frame, so remember this, who is the first person. So prior to the independence, Law Commission is there? Yes. Next one, first Law Commission of Independent India was when? 19? Very very important. These dates are important regarding this one. Why? Because they will ask a question on chronology order. So first point they will give this 1955. Law Commission was India first established in India 1955. Next one, Finance Commission 1952. First time. They will give the chronology. Finance Commission 1952. Law Commission 1955. Indo-China War 1962. So you need to remember, like, there may be chance of possibility of asking from the chronology things. Got it? Who is the chairman? This is the news. So what's the news here? Center constitutes 22nd Law Commission. So he got Justice Rituraj Aswati. He is a former Justice of Karnataka High Court. So chairman is who? Is usually means he may be a retired judge of Supreme Court or retired judge of Chief Justice of. So see the word here, retired judge of Supreme Court. It is not saying the Chief Justice of India. Got it? So it's not saying the Chief Justice of India. He can be a judge of Supreme Court. But when you come to this High Court, he is a Chief Justice. Got it? So if anything wrong with it, you can file a case. Like if they put chairman as normal judge of High Court, you can file a case. No, right? So what's the reason? It is a non-statutory body. So no act is guiding it. So next, role of LCI, very important. So what's the main role of it? You cannot even expect it. Examine the impact of globalization on food security. So what are the things it is covering? Next one, unemployment, and recommend measures for the protection of the interests of the marginalized. So what are the three provisions here? In the first point, keywords here, globalization on food security. Next one, unemployment. Next one, on the marginalized. Who are the marginalized? Yeah, SC, ST, who are very low in status. So providing research to any foreign countries as may be referred by the, so it is also providing what? Research. Examine laws to promote gender equality, very important one. Suggestion legislation to implement what? DPSP promotes what? Welfare state. Welfare state. So it means that Law Commission promoting the welfare of state. Is it correct? Yes. Review repeal of obsolete laws. Obsolete laws means which are old law. So it is linking something around with the Article 372. This point. Got it? So law and poverty. Next one, administration of justice. So just remember this. These are the main role, like the areas which this Law Commission of India will go into it. So next, very important thing is success. It means its achievements or something. What this Law Commission of India has achieved. See, so generally they will give a reports every Law Commission. So what is present Law Commission of India? Number 22nd. So every Law Commission they will give some reports. So what this 41st report saying that it is resulting what? New Code of Criminal Procedure of 1973. Next one, 165th report, what is saying? It guides what you can say. If you see here, law related administration of justice and interests of the marginalized. So children are comes under the interest of the marginalized, right? So based on this provision, what he has given, what she has given. So this act, the Right of the Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009 came based on the recommendation of Law Commission of India. Next one, what is this 186th report is saying? National Green Tribunal Act. Do you know about it, this one? Right? So why I am stopping here is, when I am saying this, your work is, after going home, just refer this one, and very important thing is, what's the main suggestion it has given. So the successes are okay. Two or three things we have discussed, three things we have discussed. So what's its suggestions? 21st Law Commission of India, in its earlier Law Commission, what it has suggested, recommended? Uniform Civil Code is neither necessary nor desirable at this stage. Very, very important. Did you see the last week's question paper? Did you see this one? Uniform Civil Code related. If you mention such kind of fact in your answer, so Law Commission is saying what? Uniform Civil Code is neither necessary nor desirable at this stage. It means what? It is neutral in its perspective. You need to mention such kind of data in your mains answer. It will enrich your mains answer. Got it? So next, which of the following was true regarding the Law Commission of India? It was established by the Law Commission Act 1955 under the Ministry of Law. Is it correct? What's the wrong thing here? It's a non-statutory, but it comes under Ministry of Law. Very important thing. Okay. So the recommendations of the commissions are not binding on the government. They may be accepted or rejected. Is it correct? They are not binding. Why? Because advisory in nature. Third point, the commission would have a tenure of 2 years from the date of publication of the order continuation in the official gazette. So the tenure is how much? I didn't mention there. Actually the tenure is 3 years. So why I have framed this question? Because they may put such kind of things in this word, but you know it comes under the Ministry of Law. In the very fast, when you are reading the question, you didn't see whether it was established, you didn't see this provision of this. Now we have discussed it, you came to know that it is non-statutory. We generally don't see it, you generally see this one, Ministry of Law. Yeah, it is there, you will put it as a correct statement. The recommendations of the commissions are not binding on the government, they are accepted or rejected. It means that advisory. So you are saying based on your knowledge, using your IQ. So the word non-statutory or advisory did anywhere mentioned here? You have changed that, right? So you know what this advisory means. It means that non-recommendatory in nature, non-binding in nature. So using your knowledge, you are changing into your IQ, means intelligent quotient. You are based on your intelligent, you are changing the things. Got it? So this thing you need to remember, they will change with the numbers also. Number game, they will play the number game. 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, it depends on that. So when you are doing these prelims MCQs, put these things in your mind. So I generally tell that there is a link between the knowledge and IQ. So you only told me this answer. So next, mains question. What's the main question? In terms of checking the obsolete laws, Law Commission has done tremendous job, right? So I have told you 3 provisions. One is what? National Green Tribunal, and another one is right to child compulsory education. First one is what? 41st report, Code of Criminal Procedure. So you need to mention that one. Does the time ripe? It should be brought under the statute. Means what? You need to make, is it a time? You need to make it as a statutory body. So because you have seen here, lot of successes it has done, lot of suggestions it has given, right? So are you feeling it's a time? It has ripe? The time has ripe? Huh? What? Tell me any మీరేం చెప్పండి ఏమన్నా. రైప్ అంటే ఏంటి? పండు వికసించిందనా? సో రైప్ అంటే ఈ టైం వచ్చిందా? ఇప్పుడు వచ్చిందా? Did you find the time has ripe it to made into a statutory body? So when this type of comes, you need to argue in the 2 sides. That is no side, another is a Yes side. Yes side means you need to mention about the successes. No side means, so nowhere till now they are demanding for Law Commission of India to be a statutory body. Till now there is no discussions regarding it. So based on the article 372, it has a guideline. So they know why it was formed. It is to guide the government in the matter of laws. It's the only thing. So it is a no. So what's the balanced conclusion you need to give in this answer? చెప్పండి, ఇంత నోరు దించుకొని చెప్తుంటే. What? So same thing, at present there is no need of statute because there is no argument. So there is a demand. So it has doing its work properly, right? So what you need to do is, when based on this law, when if you have time something, make a note of these reports and use that things in your mains answers. What are the important successes it has done it? Generally if you type in the Wikipedia, you will get something regarding this Law Commission of India successes. Like I told you, read 3 examples. There are a lot of examples are there. So mention, if you want to change something in the way forward or conclusion, you can mention such kind of things. Got it? So very important thing, ఇది ఒక కాంట్రవర్షియల్ స్టేట్మెంట్ అర్థమైంది నాకు, చూద్దాం. వోంట్ పే జిఎస్టీ నేను కట్టను అని ఎవరు చెప్తున్నారు? మమతా మోహన్ దాస్ కాదా? ఎవరు? మమతా బెనర్జీ. హూ ఇస్ షీ? అబ్బో, మంచి కరెంట్ అఫైర్స్ ఉన్నాయి. వోంట్ పే జిఎస్టీ సెంటర్ డజన్ క్లియర్ డ్యూస్ అంటే ఏంటి అర్థం? వాట్ డస్ ఇట్ మీన్? వోంట్ పే జిఎస్టీ, నేను కట్టను, మీరు ముందు మాకున్న డ్యూస్ని క్లియర్ చేయండి. ప్లీజ్ క్లియర్ యువర్ డ్యూస్ విచ్ ఈజ్ లయబుల్ ఆన్ అస్. సో ప్లీజ్ క్లియర్ ఇట్. సో దెన్ ఇఫ్ యూ వోంట్ డూ ఇట్, I won't pay GST to you center. Got it? So this is the, like if you dug into it, the reason here is GST compensation. GST compensation means, I'll tell you something. So see here, when this GST came, okay, so what's the Constitutional Amendment Act? 101, right? In this one, they have asked they have given a provision that is called compensation, GST so states are the part of taxes, right? Generally prior to this, there are state taxes, there are center taxes. The Constitution also has divided in the article 240 something. They have divided, the state should be paid this much, the state has these taxes, the state doesn't have these taxes, center all have these taxes, state have these taxes. By coming into this GST, what was happened? Lot of taxes under the state gone into whom? Center. It means that state is getting compromised in their financial aspect. If you see the two states of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, so Andhra Pradesh has low to budget, means deficit budget. So Telangana has surplus. అందుకే పెద్ద పెద్ద కన్స్ట్రక్షన్ కడుతున్నారు చూడండి. Did you see that? సెక్రటేరియట్ దాని పక్కన ఏదో అమర వీరుల చిహ్నానికి ఏదో కడుతున్నారు పక్కన. ల్యాండ్ సంథింగ్ దేర్ కన్స్ట్రక్టింగ్ దట్ ల్యాంప్. ఎప్పుడు వెలుగుతూ ఉంటుందంట అది, వీళ్ళు వెలిగితే బాగుండు. So 101, so GST, when you are saying that state is foregoing their expenditure, right? Foregoing their revenues. So that's the reason why GST, when the time this GST came, they have framed this provision that is called GST compensation. So what's that compensation is? If revenue shortfall is how much? Less than 14% of their revenue growth. What this for how many years? When it is up to 2022. The base year is what? 15-16. Paid every 2 months under GST compensation to the States Act of 2017. That's okay. So less than how much? If the state is getting less than 14% of their revenue growth because of this GST ratam valla, ila takkuva aithe state, the center needs to pay some amount to the states. So what was the issue is during the COVID, right? I'll show you some the next stats. So states GST revenue gap is how much? 3 lakh crore. Cess collection is only 65,000 crore. So 3 lakh crore is how much the government need to pay. But the collection is how much? 65,000. So jump here. Normal system. Generally GST compensation fund anedi oka provision undi. In this provision there is cess and fund. The GST compensation cess, where they will get amount for this cess? From taxing what? Luxury or sin goods, tobacco, coal, automobiles, aerated water, pan masala, Vimal pan masala. Do you heard about it? Huh? So next, aerated water means drinks, carbonated water, cool drinks, soft drinks. Next one is for automobiles, which are luxurious, Range Rovers, Rolls Royce, ilantivi import చేసుకున్నప్పుడు if generally I'll say one car is there, that car in US costs 40 lakhs, that is Ford Mustang. In India if it comes, it is something charging 82 lakhs. What does it mean? How much is the extra you need to pay? Double the rate. So this amount goes through. So why I am telling this example, because due to the COVID there is a loss of revenue for each and everybody, right? So it is a car named Ford Mustang. There is a loss, right? So due to the COVID there is a loss. So how you will pay, how you will buy this car? So generally the normal cycle is there. If the business is going good, they generally buy such kind of cars, right? If they are not buying cars because of this COVID, means it is loss of the revenue to the center, right? Center loss vastada rada. So that's the reason. So there is a shortfall. If you see here, these are the very important 5 products. They may ask what are the things in the GST compensation cess. So it is what? It is a non-lapsable with public account. Non-lapsable means what? Non-lapsable. Any guess? Generally, ipudu 1 year. If it is for 1 year, the budget is allocated for 1 year. After this 1 year, it again, for example, I have allocated 40 rupees to you. Again, if you don't do anything, again it will come into that center only. So here this is not like a lapsable. After the year it won't lapse. It won't go into this center coffins, right? So it non-lapsable means it is like a continuous thing. So if you see here, state's revenue, how much is the gap? 3 lakh crore. So 3 lakshla kotlu center pay cheyali to states. So cess collection enta ayindi GST dani prakaram only. So is there any gap? Lot of gap is there. So that's the reason why. And another thing which is demanding that news is, present issue is what? Fund not released for the MG Narega. Do you heard this one, MG Narega and Jal Jeevan mission? These are the 2 missions, MG Narega and the Jal Jeevan mission. For this they are not funding properly. What's the reason? They don't have money to fund, right? Next one, what's the demand of the states? Not only this, what you can say, not only this West Bengal, Telangana, what you can say Andhra Pradesh, and next you go to Kerala, Karnataka. These are also state demanding to increase this or to increase the revenue from the home center nunchi double kavalani korukuntundi. So recently it was extended. Based on this demand, this compensation scheme got extended to 4 years. So what's the end here? Normally when at what term it should get end? 2022. So what's the time frame extended here? 4 years from now. Got it? So that's the reason. And I'll ask you something. Wait, so you got this right? So what's the reason behind it? So which of the following are true regarding the GST? It has been established by the 101 Constitutional Amendment Act as a direct tax for the whole country on the lines of one nation, one tax to make India as a unified market. Got it right? Which tax? So this GST is also called as, what you can say, destination based tax. So the word you need to see here is, it is indirect. All indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Regressive means what? Regressive, for example, I'll tell you. So this person name is Chota Bheem, right? One other name is Doraemon, right? He is a poor guy. Doraemon is a rich guy. He want laddus. He also want laddus. Okay? Doraemon laddulu odda? Evvara meeru? Iyandi babu tintademo. So fine. 1 kg of laddu in where? Dholakpurki వెళ్తారా? సరే ఓకే. డోలక్పూర్లో ఒక షాప్ ఉంది. In that shop they have charged is 140 rupees, right? So ఈ డోరెమాన్ ఆ డోర్ తీసుకొని వెళ్ళిపోయి అది ఎగురుకుంటే వెళ్ళిపోయింది ఇక్కడికి. ఎక్కడికి? Where it went? Dholakpur. To buy this 140 rupees of. So this Doraemon is rich in nature, right? This Chota Bheem is poor. So if you assume this, whose burden is more here? Chota Bheem or Doraemon? Chota Bheem, right? So it means that is this 140 rupees on this 1 kg laddu packet is a indirect tax or direct tax? Indirect means you are whoever the person you come, whether they won't see he is a rich person or a poor person, but the 1 kg of that laddu is same. So it means that indirect taxes are regressive in nature, means they are taking your amount more. Got it? So direct taxes, for example, tell me any direct tax? Income tax, because based on your income only they will tax. Got it? So this is the difference between the direct. So direct taxes are progressive in nature. Indirect taxes are regressive in nature. Got it? So next, coming to here. So see here, states can withdraw from GST on its own. Is it possible? So very, very important. So why I have framed? Because there may be a chance. You cannot expect, like it is saying what controversial statement, won't pay GST. నేను కట్టను అని చెప్తుంది. సో ఎందుకు కట్టకపోతే ఏంటి, what are the things you may encounter as a state if you won't pay GST to the center? If you won't pay to the center, what are the circumstances or what are the things you may get upon you? Yes, very important thing. If something, if you know the article 356, right, and 365. So one provision is which is not following on the compliance on the advice of in the lines with the center. సెంటర్ ఏమైతే చెప్తుందో దానికి ఫాలో అవ్వకపోతే యూ కెన్ పుట్ వాట్, విచ్ రూల్? ప్రెసిడెంట్ రూల్. సో దే ఆర్ ఇన్ ఏ స్టేజ్ దట్ yes, you can put the president rule, means they are challenging the government, right? So you need to understand such kind of things. So there is a thing you need to remember is what? The challenge is what? President rule. Got it? So next, third point మీరే చెప్పండి GST గురించి ఏదన్నా. Any third point? Frame any third point. So what you can, so till now you have seen, right? GST compensation cess is for less than 18%. Is it correct? How much? 14%. If you want to frame, I have given this option to frame like anything. It depends on the discussion, you can frame the option. See the mains question. GST is a positive step towards shifting Indian economy from the informal to formal economy. What does it mean? Informal to formal. What does it mean? Informal నుంచి formal కి తీసుకొస్తుంది అంటే ఏంటి? So if you see that there are lot of taxes prior to this GST, right? Now there are 4 tax slabs, right? 4 tax slabs are there. It means that is it changing the nature from informal to formal, right? This is the very important one provision. Next, the other thing is taxing the luxury goods. Next, if you won't pay GST, another thing is you should, there is a file, you need to file the, every month there should be, you need to file a GST. So if you don't file, they will file you. Okay, this is another provision which is causing the formalization of the economy, right? So tax collections, you will come to know how much this is tax collection. I have already told you, right? 65,000 crores cess it got collected from the GST compensation check. So generally, if this GST is not there, you may assume that how much is the cess? Is it possible for you to assume that? No, right? So it means what? It is formalizing the economy or not? It is creating what? One tax, one. I'll remember this point. I'll tell in the later phases of our end of our discussion. One nation, one tax. Got it? Next, but on the other side, it is creating a federal tension. It means what? I am linking basic economy thing with polity. So what are the federal tensions it is causing? Center state relations are disputed. So what's the, tell me 2 examples enough. So states not getting the due share of it, the first point. Okay, next one, if you see the structure, 1/3, who are the members of the GST council? 1/3 union, right? 2/3 are states. So 2/3 ki states ichi 1/3 ki union ante, is it any balance over here? No, right? It means that the center can take a dare step and he can do it on its own, right? Like covering some of the small states. 2/3 states are 2/3 states. If they want to pass a law, right? So if they want to like take the council, GST council decision are there. So it should be based on how much? Majority votes, right? So some minority states are there, right? For example, we Telangana and this Kerala, Karnataka. If we want to argue such kind of things, does it creating any federal, for example, take this West Bengal, this example, does it creating any federal tension? Yes, right? And other aspect is, it is damaging what? Fiscal federalism. What the fiscal federalism means? It is damaging the fiscal federalism. So center is imposing. If you see the 15th Finance Commission, the tax devolution is decided by whom? Finance Commission, right? So Finance Commission is a which body? So I am asking you a simple question. Are there any state members in the Financial Commission? No. So it means that does it is also creating any federal tension? So these are the points you need to put in your answer. Got it? బోర్ కొడుతుందా? 1:30 ఏం కాదులే, ఒక 10 నిమిషాలు ఉండండి. ఆకలి అవుతుందా? 10 నిమిషాలు ఉండండి, అయిపోయింది. So next, diamond workers in the Surat evince interest in the APPS promises. So I have taken what? Which article? It is a very politics article. Gujarat elections jarugutunnayi. So APP is going to contest over there. So the reason here I picked because diamond workers, diamond industry in India. So this is an untouched element of UPSC till now. Untouched. They didn't ask about this diamond industry. In future they may ask about this. So see here, diamond industry. India exports more than how much? 75% of the polished diamonds and gems. Remember these stats. At least it means what? 3/4. Right? Contributing to around how much of the GDP? How much? 7% of the GDP. 7% to the GDP and 15% to the India's total merchandise export. Employing how many people? More than 5 million people. See, these stats are very important. So this is a diamond industry. Till now UPSC has not touched it. So India is the world's largest. Very, very, very important point. India is the world's largest, means the first cutting and polishing center for the diamonds, with the cutting and polishing industry. So when coming to this cutting and polishing industry for the diamonds, which is the largest country? India. So what is the FDI status? 100%. The Surat diamond market, which employs over 500,000 across the 6,000 polishing units, is the world's biggest diamond polishing. So which is the world's biggest diamond polishing hub? Surat. Got it? So that's the reason why APP is promising them. We will make you exceed. So what's the recent issue is, due to the COVID, there is a fall in the money with you. Diamonds కొనుక్కొని డబ్బులు కావాలి కదా. So whether the state or something, there is a fall in money with you. So that's the reason why there is a decrease in the demand. So this is a report given by the CRISIL. CRISIL is an agency which gives a report. So what's the reasons is? Reasons for lack of demand is what? Lockdown is the one of the largest market. China, inflation, prioritizing traveling over buying jewels. So COVID. Next one, reasons for lack of supply. Sanctions on Russian diamond mining company Alrosa, world's largest diamond producer. So what's the reason for sanctions? Russia, Ukraine war. Got it? 2 points. One is COVID, another one is Russia-Ukraine war. See, very important stats you need to remember here is mines in India. So what are the present diamond mines in India? Kollur, where? Which state? Andhra Pradesh. Kollur lake తెలుసా? పెలికన్స్ బర్డ్స్ వస్తాయి ఎగురుకుంటానే వస్తాయిలే, నవ్వు బాకండి. కొల్లూరు మైన్ ఏపీ. పన్నా, వేర్ ఇస్ ఇట్? మధ్యప్రదేశ్. పరిటాల రవి తెలుసా మీకు? అట్లా తెలుసు చెప్పండి. డూ యూ నో పరిటాల రవి? ఫ్యాక్షనిస్ట్. ఇంకొకటి ఏదో కూడా వింటారులే. Which state? AP. Right? So these are the mines in present in India. So some important statistics is Indian diamond is founded in one of the earliest reference. Where in the earliest reference we can see? Artha Shastra. Written by whom? Kautilya. Oh, wow. Diamond mine of Golconda in India that became a legend around the world. The diamonds of the Golconda were the finest white diamonds known as white color, clarity and transparency. So if you see this Kollur mine, generally at the time of, during the time of Golconda or this Kakatiya time, it comes under this Golconda. Earlier this Golconda is a part of which kingdom? Kakatiya. Just remember this point. Okay. So some of the diamonds which are famous that are extracted from the Golconda are very, very important. Darya-e-Nur, right? Next one, Nur-ul-Ain. So generally they don't concentrate on much. Darya-e-Nur, the term seen in our ancient India or in the history, they will give first one literature, next one diamond, water, drawing machine, next religious head. So what's this regarding to? Darya-e-Noor is what? It's a diamond. So these kind of things are important for your UPSC. Got it? So Kohinoor, no, you know it, right? Kohinoor. Where it is now? Huh? UK. Hope diamonds and the Regent diamond. So remember, these diamond names are important. So next, which of the following statements are true regarding the diamonds? So if they want to frame a question, they can frame a question on SNT based also. Got it? So what's the question? Diamonds has the highest hardness and thermal conductivity of any natural material. Is it correct? Yes. So that's the reason why diamond tone cut cheyali, mullu tone tiyalantala. It's like that. Because the arrangement of atoms in the diamond is extremely rigid. Few types of impurities can contaminate it. So it means that extremely rigid atomic structure, few types of impurities can contaminate. So if it is gold, more impurities you can put it on it. But diamond, it is impossible. It is possible only, but it takes a lot of things. So based on these impurities only, diamond color changes. Remember this point. Based on the impurity only, diamond color changes. Okay. Next one, diamonds can be used as semiconductors. Is it correct? Yes. Because of their atomic structure, they can be used as a semiconductor. So they can frame such kind of questions also. Got it? So next, mains question. So I expect this question maybe in the upcoming or after, I don't know, in the future this question may come, I am thinking so, because in untouched element. Discuss the factors favorable for the diamond industry in India. What are the recent challenges plaguing the growth of diamond industry? Tell me. And just tell me the challenges. What are the challenges? Tell me the 3 points. Moode cheppandi. Russia, Ukraine. Second one is pandemic. Next one, finances. These 3 are enough. So the next one is significance of Bali G20 summit. Mostly you people know about it, right? G20 means mostly, right? I'll ask you one question. So I'll tell you something. Why was G70 accept? Okay. So this is okay. Why was G70 created? Any guess? Any one of you? Any guess? Huh? What financial crisis? So when it was created in 1999 as an acceptable medium between the more elitist G7 and other countries. The G20 was conceived in a more unified post-Soviet era. So you generally get these in the news. So one important thing is Trioka. What this Trioka means? So generally don't remember like that. Trioka means what? So Trioka means 3 heads. Remember, 3 heads: previous, present, next. Trioka means previous president of this G20 and next present president and the upcoming next. So this is called Trioka. So who is the present one? Bali. Present is Bali, Indonesia. So earlier it is Italy. So upcoming it is right? Very important. If they ask in the next term, the next one is Brazil. So next Trioca is whom? Indonesia, India and Brazil. So present it is Italy, Indonesia and India. So India has assumed it, but remember this, these stats are important. 85% of the global GDP and how much? 65% of the global, 66% of the world population. So remember the stats. So prior to this, I'll generally, you know about this, I'll tell you something extra which you generally didn't think about. So what's the reason? What's the reason of this G20's arrival? Something, if the G20 or any 20, 30 లేదు రావాలన్నా సరే ఒక origin అయితే ఉండాలి. Some origin should be there to behind it. So that is called Asian financial crisis of 1990s. 1997 లో 1996 లో there is an Asian financial crisis. Got it? So we'll talk about. So what's the reason about that Asian financial crisis is poor financial markets. Why? Because the world is getting globalized. So this is a very important reason. Poor financial markets because they are unable to deal with their market structure. Second one is investment in construction. Very important thing. I'll connect a link here. Investment in construction and the crony capitalism. So construction needs what? A lot of investment. So a lot of money is needed, right? So for this money, if a prudent, for example, GVK తెలుసా మీకు? Do you know GVK? మాల్ కాదు, బిల్డర్. GVK builder airport construct చేశారు. Do you know that our airport got constructed with the help of this GVK, right? So he is a trustworthy person, right? If you take another PNB scam, do you heard know of it? PNB scam. ఏం చేశారు? మెహుల్ చోస్కి. సో వాట్, హీఈస్ అన్ అన్ప్రూడెంట్ పర్సన్. విజయ్ మాల్యా, కింగ్ఫిషర్. డూ యు నో కింగ్ఫిషర్? ఏ రకంగా తెలుసు చెప్పండి? ఎయిర్లైన్స్ ఒకటేనా? ఈజ్ కింగ్ఫిషర్ ఓన్లీ ఎయిర్లైన్స్? స్పాన్సర్ ఇంకా liquor is the first element, and they'll publish generally, you know this, they have a calendar girls. Okay, so why I'm telling, because due to the reason of this crony capitalism means what? Government itself supporting the private industries. Ante there is a crony capitalism with nepotism. Bollywood ka baap, nepotism, right? So this is a very important factors which drive it. So మనకి తెలిసినప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం, whether we don't see whether this guy is prudent or not, we generally keep on giving the loans. So construction sector which has huge amount, it is also long term in nature, right? So investment పెడితే తిరిగి రావడానికి how much time it will take? Lot of time, right? So but here based on this nepotism, no prudent person. So obviously ఏమవుతుంది, పైలప్ అవుతుందా లేదా? ILFS crisis, do you heard about it? 2 years 3 years back ILF crisis అని ఒక నాన్ బ్యాంకింగ్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ కంపెనీ క్రైసిస్ ఒకటి వచ్చింది. So there is a crisis. So generally if it is a long term investment, return on the investment will take time, right? So here there is a poor financial market condition over there. And next, investment in the construction is very long term. ఈ nepotism వల్ల ఆ prudence అనేది లేదు, they are not getting any returns. So based on this, what they have done, they have devalued their currency. It has impacted more. Mostly states like, for example, mostly countries like Thailand, Singapore, they have devalued their currency, exports promotion చేయదామని. But there is another step which is halting them, is pegging to the dollar. So at that time dollar ఏమవుతుంది, is an appreciating. It means that it is a fall in your economy, right? So one thing, These financial markets in this area are linked with this Hong Kong dollar. So obviously this Hong Kong dollar is relies on which dollar? US dollar. It is appreciating. It is also affecting it. Obviously it is affecting it. Got it? So it is a complete cycle is happening in this. So due to this, Asian financial crisis has happened. So this is the reason ilanti inkokati jarakunda undadaniki. So they have framed what? G20. 1999 they have taken this step. So but the first session I think 2007 or 6. But they started when 19 formed. If the word the formed, it is 1999. So remember some small points. It doesn't have any secretariat. Okay, G20 doesn't have any secretariat. Next one, remember this tax. Next, remember this Trioca. Next, other thing is next, whose presidency? India's presidency. Okay. So coming to this, in this Bali thing, Indonesia has set up one thing. That is what? Indonesia Just Energy Transition Partnership is a long-term political agreement between the Indonesian government and the international partners group. The US and Japan have joined the leads. The other countries, who are the countries? UK, Germany, France, EU, Canada, Italy, Norway and Denmark. Is India is member of this one? What they will do is India being the next president has also member of this Just Energy Transition Partnership. They will frame a question like that. So remember, be cautious. India is not part of this Just Energy Transition Partnership. This news is enough for you. Next, other thing is, next India has framed this logo, Bharat 2023. So see here, what is this? What's this one? One earth, one family, one future. It is based on what? Vasudhaiva ante world is one. That's saying the same thing. One earth, one family, one future. So if you see here, the logo reflects the idea of Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. The whole earth is a family, because of which India has always believed in the global harmony. The lotus flower. If you see this, it is a symbol of which government? Okay, don't talk like that. Ala raayakandi. Okay, political controversy create chesinattayindi. So the lotus flower symbolizes, they are giving substantiating to their lotus flower. What they are giving? Lotus flower symbolizes what? Our Puranic heritage, our Astha means what? Belief. And Bodhikta means intellectualism. Buddhi means something. So remember this point. So one thing, very important thing is this, where is this? Vasudhaiva Kutumbam. So this was inscribed in Maha Upanishad. Very important. If they want to frame a question, they can frame this history question also from this G20 lotus. Vikasinchina puvu. So this is basic thing. Theme. What is the theme? We already discussed. One earth, one family, one future. So I think Modi love, or Modi, or like what you can say, this government loves the term one. If you see anything, if you see one nation, one tax, one what you can say, one sun, one world, one grid, right? One nation, one ration, one nation, one fertilizer scheme, one. If you see the trend of one, did you analyze the thing? Ardhamautunda? One anangane evaru? Maname, India. So we are aspiring, undachu. We can aspire. So remember, very, very important. So one is the motto of our present India. Whether if you go anywhere or something, they are talking about this one. Got it? So మీరు కూడా number 1 అవ్వాలి. So next మీరే ఫ్రేమ్ చేసుకోండి. సో నెక్స్ట్ లాస్ట్ కరెంట్ అఫైర్, ఐ విల్ టెల్ యూ సమ్ వెరీ బేసిక్ థింగ్. సో నథింగ్ హియర్. Project to track small fishing vessels now makes up the progress. Small fishing vessels, do you know India and Sri Lanka, right? Here the area, right, most of the illegal fishing happens. And another thing, this is what, which area, like this is the Bombay, right? Two things remember, this is based, this question can be framed or maritime security. This maritime or coastal security question was asked in the 2022 mains regarding this coastal security. If you generally go through that question, you will get it. So because the security questions regarding this PMLA, all those are over. They are shifting their boundaries beyond India, right? So this may be an, they have framed a question in this mains, in the next they may frame in the prelims, got it? So they will take it, generally they will do, they will play with such kind of things. So they are, if you see this one, Bombay is the one area and this is the area where this illegal fishing is happened, right? So we generally, we are trying to establish a relationship between India and the Sri Lanka about this fisherman issue. So what's the issue here is, if you see here, 2611 attacks, do you heard it? Ever a famous personality? Kasab, okay, fine. Kasab, what this Kasab has done? He came from where? Boat, small boat only. So oka chinna event, it has changed the course of our India. It means that we are not tracking that boats, right? So what's the demand here is, whether if you are going for the fishing కి వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, what you can say, like which kind of security is a social security, right? You need to protect the lives of your fishermen, the first point. Other dimension is, you need to protection the save of the country's national security is also threat. So there are two threats behind this. So that's the reason why maybe it is a small thing, but it impacts very heavily, right? If you see here, they have started a defense exercise. What is this one? Sea Vigil 20. సో పాన్ ఇండియా, ఈ మధ్య టర్మ్ బాగా ఎక్కువ అయిపోయినట్టుంది కదా, పాన్ ఇండియా కోస్టల్ డిఫెన్స్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ సీ విజిల్ is scheduled, Navy said, okay. So see here, there are close to 3 lakh registered fishing vessels, of which around 2.5 lakh under 20 meters he added, right? Just see, have a look after this. Another thing is, fishing vessels in India is greatly eased by the creation of online real craft, very important. So real craft recently seen in news, what it means, related to what? Real craft, what it means, related to what? Fishing, something coastal security, whatever the thing it may be, registration of the coastal. So internationally there is an agreement called Cape Town Agreement. So adopted by whom? International Maritime Organization, when? 2012, to help combat illegal, unregulated, unreported fishing. This agreement is aimed at facilitating the better control of the fishing vessel safety by the flag, port and coastal states. It includes what? Mandatory safety measures for the fishing vessels of how much? Very, very important, this provision. How much? Which meters? 24 meters 17 feet in the length and over. Okay. So if you talk about this, is India ratified this Cape Town Agreement? The answer is no. Okay. India is yet to ratify. It was not till now it got ratified. So for example, by taking this current affair, they may link it with to this Cape Town agreement. Got it? So other important, very important declaration is what? Torre-Molinos Declaration. Torre-Molinos Declaration aims to ensure that 2012 Cape Town Agreement will enter into force 10th anniversary. Okay, 46 I have signed declaration to indicate that. Okay. So I am asking one thing. So what's the year? 2000. So what's the present year? 2022. So 10 years is over. So in the next prelims, there may be a chance they may ask about this landmark events thing. So it is in the news, right? They will link it with it, and they will link it with this yearly thing. This is the dimensions you need to create when you are studying a current affair. So these are the things you need to go deep into it. And one thing I need to tell you, okay? What is it? That's it.